Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Here we go. Here's my little sander booklet. I was kind of rearranging stuff in my room, so sometimes having a room being messy is actually the best way, because you know where everything is, and once everything's clean, it's like, hold on, where did everything go? There was some kind of sense to the madness, and now it's all just chaos. It's actually more chaotic now that it's organized. Let's go in one direction here. Bacon shark fins make everything better. You know what? I think you're onto something there. Shark fins make everything better. Just imagine, take your normal car, and just imagine it with like a anime shark fin. It's better. Take the PlayStation 5, right? Take the design, how it looks. Add a shark fin. It's better. Just looks better. Okay, that looks decent. Oh, got a big nub here on the foot. Let's get rid of that. Foot nub. Foot nub. Let's do this. It's a little easier if we just lay it flat. Just make it go up and down. There you go. Okay, yeah. I was looking at the drawing. It seems like the shark fin has this little kind of right angle at the very top. I was wondering if I should just sand it down to a point, but it seems like that's what they want. They want it to have that little extra piece of material there, so it's not a fully pointed shark fin. It's slightly depowered. A truly powerful shark fin will just come to a point for maximum power. Yeah, so probably tonight and tomorrow, gonna do a lot of preparation stuff for YouTube. I gotta do a lot of making thumbnails and do a bit of editing and stuff, editing or clipping, and I also have to take a look at the timeline of my release schedule on YouTube, and I might have to make some adjustments. I have YouTube videos kind of like planned out several days in advance, but we're getting to a point where I have to make I have to upload a few more videos so I can stay ahead of schedule. But yeah, that's gonna be mostly this weekend. I kind of did that last weekend as well, and it kind of worked out. It gives me a break from actually streaming, and I can focus on everything else, and also taking photographs, taking pictures. I mean, I just use my phone, or rather my iPad, to do all that, but it's the weekend's a good time to do all that as well. All right, this needs a bit more sanding down. Okay, I think that's fine. There you go. Stick that baby on there. Let's take a brush and kind of brush away the dust. I can tell it's a little dusty. This whole thing is getting all dusty. Gotta brush it away. Okay. And yeah, so now we need to put this this unit on here that we were looking at previously, And I do think it goes something like this. I could be wrong. I don't know. Let's see. I think that's how it works. Nani? Let's see. Let's see if I'm barking up the right tree here. Does this make sense? Made sense to me. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh. Okay. Pretty neat. Again, this is something where I might have to look at it a little more when it's all done and see what I need to glue together. There you go. Interesting. It's a close fit. It's a nice tight fit, which I didn't think was going to happen. And there's the back unit. Oh. Oh. It kind of aligns with the rail there. Interesting. Didn't think that was going to happen. Oh, interesting. And the arms go through there. Interesting. Huh. I didn't think that's how it was gonna fit. Or I kind of thought it was, but I wasn't too sure how that would work, but I understand now. Okay. Yeah, and this actually might be something where I might have to keep it separate for the purposes of painting. Not really sure. Okay. Baking, I hate making thumbnails for videos. I would go so far as to say that's one of the reasons why I don't make as many as I'd like. I've kind of found the joy in it, for me at least. Sometimes I try and make, I try and make like a meme image, kind of like something funny and stupid, and it's amusing enough for me to see it through, rather than making something boring. And for a lot of my original like playthroughs, when I do a full playthrough for a game, I would make like an illustration. I've kind of fallen off from that a bit, just because towards the end of the year and now into 2022, my gaming schedule has been very mixed. Like what I mean by that is I've been mixing up the games I've been playing. I'd be going through Dragon Quest Builders, and then Hades, and then Bloodborne, and then we've got Elden Ring coming up, and then I played some Slay the Spire, and then I played Sonic. I played all these different games, right? It's such a condensed frame of time frame, that it just really wouldn't. It would be a lot of work to make like a thumbnail for all of this stuff, and especially if the video, like it's going to be a short series where it's only like 3 videos, it hardly seems worth it. So I've put the brakes on that a little bit, but I do intend to go back to making illustrations for my games, for thumbnails, especially for games that are ones that I'm going to be playing in the long haul, like for a good amount of time, such as Elden Ring in the future. Even something like Hades and Dragon Quest Builders, those are games that I intend to play a fair amount of time for, so it seems appropriate to make a thumbnail for that. But yeah, I mean, I think you might enjoy making thumbnails if you could somehow find your way of doing it that's just like kind of easy. For one thing, you can find like a nice, quick, and easy way of doing it, and also if you can kind of make it fun. That's the thing for me, is like when I started making thumbnails that were kind of humorous, photoshopping just funny images, that's what made it a little more entertaining for me, just the process of making it. Mikazuki is back. How's it going, Mikazuki? How'd you enjoy your timeout? Okay. I asked how do you enjoy your timeout, but if you intend to go on another rant about whatever you were talking about before, don't bother. Instead, we can all just move along. Let's see. I wonder if this is a tab that needs to be cut or not. I'm not actually sure. Playing Smite. Oh yeah. You said that you watch a lot of You watch people play Smite. Oh, what was the other game? Dauntless. You said that you watch people play Dauntless on Twitch as well. So you've never played Monster Hunter then? You're more of like a Smite player, I take it. Let's see. How does this go? This goes like that. And oof. This is very very small, these parts. Hopefully I'm putting it together right. I think that's good. Looks like I might need some glue too. I'm just hoping I don't make a mistake, but I think we're okay so far. No need to call in Bacon for some clutch translations. Not yet. This could be the shoulder part, actually. A19? Where is A19? Alright, here. Bacon, the first step is learning Photoshop or something similar. I tried, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. Yeah, so unfortunately I'm not too familiar with programs that are not Photoshop. I know that there's similar programs that are free. There is a version of, I don't know if it's available on their website anymore, but there was a version of Photoshop that they made available for free from Adobe's website. And it's an older version, but it's actually the one that I use for everything. And the newer versions obviously would have new features, but I feel like I'm so comfortable using this version that it's fine. Like, I don't need anything else really for the work that I do. So yeah, I don't know if I might look into that and see if it's still available. And if it is, I'll let you know, and I could give you some pointers on how to use that program, because that's the one that I'm most familiar with. I'm pretty okay with that particular version of Photoshop. Not an expert, but I'm okay. Okay, A24. Man, the parts are getting so small and fiddly now. Mikazuki, it looks good. I might play KT. What is KT? A24. A24. Oh, it's this tiny little ring thing, and it looks like we might need to glue it, much like the other ring parts. A24. Yeah. Whew. Okay, quick clutch music change. All right. Yeah, I started a little earlier today because I was thinking I might go for a little longer to see this through, possibly, to see this build through. We'll see. We'll see about seeing through. But yeah, when these parts get so fiddly and small, it's tough. Like, I can't imagine how it would be for people with bigger hands and fatter fingers. I have like smaller hands, kind of, so it's okay. But yeah, well, I guess that's where tweezers come in, right? I actually should buy some tweezers. Well, I do have tweezers, but they're like for like you know, cosmetic purposes. I just like took it from my mom or something. Let's see. What is going on here? I have to get the right positioning for this thing. It's so odd. Okay, and then this thing goes here. Say what? Yeah, that makes sense. And then the tab goes here. Am I understanding this right? Okay. And then this goes like this. Oh yeah, I see the numbered steps actually. I see the 1 and the 2. Not really sure how this is oriented. Is it just like that? Or is it more... Well, let's put it here. It's just a pressure fit. They want us to glue it, but let's leave it like that because I'm actually not sure. Whoop, it fell off. I'm not really sure like what angle this part is supposed to be glued at. And I feel like we'll just wait and see for when the model is finished and see how it naturally falls and drapes down. Okay, now we are doing step 11. Okay, very similar. A20, A20, 20, 20, 20. Okay, here's A20. A20, A13. There you go. Sometimes I have a hard time finding the parts. I mean, not hard, but like it takes me a moment. I can't imagine how it is for like models that have more parts and bigger frames. A17. Okay, here we are. This is a very... Gotta be very careful with this. So it's another small antenna. I used to like be so excited for Persona 5, and I would you know, it was just a hotly anticipated game for me. Couldn't wait. Persona 5, oh my gosh, when's it gonna come out? And I liked it. When it came out, I liked it. I'm not sure if I loved it in the same way that I loved Persona 4, but I thought it was really great. But it's funny to think back now for me. I'm more like... I'm not like impatient for Persona 6, you know? In the same way that I was super and hotly anticipating Persona 5. Persona 6, I'm kind of like, when it comes, and I'll play it, and that'll be great. But that's fine. I'm more than willing to wait. Same thing for that other game that was supposed to come from the Persona studio. the one that was like supposed to be a fantasy game. That was revealed, man, was it like towards the end of the PS3 life? Or sorry, when was that revealed? Sometime right after Persona 5? And really, we haven't heard anything about that since, so it doesn't even register in my brain as like something I should care about. That's kind of how I felt about a lot of games, to be honest. Whether it be The Last Guardian or... Yeah, it was like The Last Guardian and Persona 5. Those were the last few games that I really was like super paying attention to and was just so excited for them to come out. And now, yeah, now I'm just kind of like, whatever game comes out, I'll be excited to play it when it comes out, but I'm not exactly holding my breath every day, hoping to hear some information about it, hoping to see some pictures or gameplay, and complaining on internet forums when it comes out. You know what I mean? Like, even Elden Ring, like, I'm super excited to play that, of course. And there was a point where I was watching gameplay, but, you know, whatever. I'll play it when I play it. When it comes out. It's only a matter of weeks now, but yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows if it's gonna be good? I think it'll be great, but I am expecting some gameplay hiccups, some bugs, straight out the gate, right off the bat. There was this exploit that was discovered for all Dark Souls games on PC that would like brick your computer or something awful like that. And there's a strong possibility that the same issue might be in Elden Ring. And I don't know about now, but for a time, like fairly recently as well, Steam actually took off the tag multiplayer from Dark Souls because they didn't want people playing it online. Okay, the ring thing goes like this. Okay. Yeah, these parts are getting really small and really fiddly right at the end. I guess that's a good amount of design where they kind of felt like they gave you fairly easy parts to build at the start to kind of get warmed up, and then as you move along you can kind of oh, okay, I think we're seeing another situation where there's a captain version and a generic soldier version, and I think I'm using the captain version because it has an antenna. I think that's the situation there, so just let it be. Bacon, speaking of games, I finally watched the GT7 State of Play. I'm actually a little tempted. Didn't think they'd take down the server for all Souls games. Didn't they take down the servers? They must have, right? Yeah, I guess they took down the servers. Even for a home console? I don't know about home console. But yeah. Yeah, that is nuts. So what's the situation now with Souls? I have no idea. That sucks. And just when all these FGC people are discovering Souls for the first time, they're all playing offline, which kind of sucks. At least it'd be fun for them to get the messages, right? But I don't know if that would probably not be possible at this time. Let's get a drink of water. So we are at the 3-hour mark. Normally that's when I would say goodbye, Auf Wiedersehen. But we are pressing on today because I started a little early with the intent of going on for a little longer. But that does mean I might take another break or two just to stretch me back. All right. Okay. we're putting another ring part there. Let's make sure that's nice and tight. Okay, quickly now, we need to do a bit of pre-build cleanup. Get rid of all this garbage. It's got too much nubs. There's too much nubbage going on. So let us clean this all up. What I'll do is I'll put it into a cup because I don't want to accidentally throw away an important piece of plastic, and I'm not entirely sure if these are important pieces or not. I'm pretty sure they're all just nubs, but it would be bad to throw away something at the moment, so we'll just put these in a cup temporarily before I dispose of it. Okay, at least that's been cleaned up a little bit. Okay. Let's use my new little organizer thing so I can kind of clean up a little bit. These are pieces that we're not really using at the moment. Let's put these here. There. Alright. Don't think we're needing these. Bacon, no idea, haven't been keeping up with the news. I only heard about this because the chat mentioned it in Obama and Eris's stream. Oh, okay. Let's make sure we're all properly lined up here with the camera and everything. Okay, yeah, this is the song. I skipped it last time. I'm skipping it again. I find it's too droning for me. Alright. We need A25. A25, please stand up. A25. Oh, shoot. I always freak out when it's about to fall off. There we go. Let's do a little bit of filing down. That would really suck if Elden Ring ended up having that same issue. It's possible, like, I really do think it's possible that it might have it. And again, I do think that Elden Ring's gonna have some kind of issue with exploits and bugs and maybe some imbalances coming straight out the gate. I think it could happen. Okay. That's another one right there. And they're telling us to glue it, but we won't do that just yet. Glue that later. Alright. So here's our big boy. Here's our big boy. Pretty nice so far. And now we've got to place the shoulders. And whoop. Okay, I'm seeing why they want us to glue it. But let me just... Okay, that goes like that. It seems like a... Okay. Oh. I put away these parts, but now I need them again. Come back. Come back to me. Let's just pour it all out here. Or not. Let's not. Let's be a little less chaotic. Okay, that goes like this. Oh. Oh, wait. Are there numbers of things to do? Okay. Pretty neat. seems like they kind of want us to orient it a little further down. We'll see. Oh yeah, they do. They do want us to keep these arm sockets, these shoulder sockets, kind of oriented a little lower. And here's the other shoulder. Yeah, there's another little thing that they wanted us to glue that I didn't glue. I guess I'm just being a little overly cautious of gluing anything, even though they told us to glue it. I'm like, ooh, let's not glue it just yet, because I don't know how I want it to look, if I want to make a diorama and stuff. Okay, so coming along, looking pretty snazzy, if I say so myself. Okay, A27 and then B14. Very odd that it's these parts are mirrored, but they're on different sprues. Why not just put them on the same sprue? This is A27, which goes on the left of the model. Let's adjust my position here. I feel like I'm kind of not properly sitting. Bad posture. Just trying to be observant of good posture. Okay, A27, shave this baby down, file it down. Sometimes when I'm drawing, I'll just open up a YouTube channel, like a YouTube radio station, like Japanese rap. And I don't know if I got that from Persona, from playing Persona games. And somehow I got in my head that I like Japanese rap. I don't know. Actually, no. There's other reasons too. Don't want to get into that, but yeah. So, and it actually is better for me to listen to a language I don't even understand while I'm working, while I'm drawing or painting or working on the computer. It kind of helps to not even understand what they're saying, because it can just be noise in the background, and I don't have to. A portion of my brain isn't getting distracted by a language that I understand. Instead, it can just be. It's just noise. It's just music, something to listen to. That's kind of helpful for me, but I'm sure that's an incredibly weeby kind of thing to do. Alright, this goes here, but I don't understand. How does it... Oh, just like that. Wow, I didn't think it would fit. It almost looks... If you look here, that's an interesting strap bacon. Yeah, it doesn't really apply to you because you actually understand, so... you'd have to listen to French rap or something. Yeah, some language that you don't understand, but then maybe you wouldn't like it, right? Okay, so if you look at these markings here, it looks like it's just part of the design of like the inner skeleton of the mech, but this is actually like keys to fit in the armor plating. That's pretty neat. And I think that gluing might be good here because it seems like it could fall off pretty easily, those kind of parts. So we'll leave it as they suggest. Again, I don't want to do anything too permanent. Okay, and now we need B14, frame B. B14. Oh, have we taken everything from this frame? No, there's still a few more pieces left on this frame. Bacon, this is why I listen to instrumental songs with no lyrics. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the same reason. Yeah. Also, not that I'm an expert in rap music at all. I've listened to, growing up where we grew up, we kind of were surrounded by rap, I guess. And it's just popular in general, but yeah, I'm not an expert in rap. But I do kind of like Japanese rap. because it has a bit more funk, it has a bit more grooviness to it, rather than like American rap. That's painting with a broad brush, of course. Within American rap, there's a lot of like, you know, subgenres. There's like West Coast, East Coast. I like both for different reasons. There's yeah, there's like different kinds. But and modern day rap, which I don't really pay attention to all that much, but yeah, Japanese rap, at least the ones that I find on the radio stations on YouTube, they have a bit of a funky feel to it that I enjoy. Oh, okay. Pretty cool. This guy is looking pretty neat. He's a plucky little guy. He's not a giant, but he's really densely packed with detail, which I like. It's pretty cool. Looking pretty good so far. Huh. Pretty cool. All right. The next step is actually the gun. So let's get on to that. Let me get a drink of water here. This is actually the last page. So that's pretty cool. Now it's time for the gun, guys. You guys ready for this? Ready for the gun? Unfortunately, there's just one gun. I kind of like it when there's just a lot more weapon options. Maybe a close combat weapon. Maybe that's something I can think about making. Oh shit. Was I gonna cut off the barrel? Is this... okay. Gotta be careful here. Let's cut away from the... Let me take a quick look at the picture. And we'll see if... I wonder if that's a nub or if that's a... Okay, the back part definitely is a nub. Let's take a look at the box art here real quick. It's... yeah, it looks like there's a tiny little bit of plastic, which is supposed to be the barrel. So we don't cut off too much. I think that's what they're telling us. Something like that. Well, we'll see. And yeah, these are nubs for sure. Faux show. It'll be really interesting. I wonder if we'll ever get to this point where Lego in recent years has gotten to the point their process is so sophisticated now that they've gotten to the point where they can create dual mold plastic, where a single piece of plastic has been injected with two colors in the mold, and they're so precise that there's no bleeding or very little bleeding. And you see that sometimes with hair or helmets, where like there's like a clear piece of plastic or clear colored plastic for the visor, but then the rest of the helmet for the model is colored. And yeah, in many cases that's not painted. That's not painted color, but that's actually a dual mold injected color. Very cool. And of course, Lego's Lego. They're at the top of their game, right? It's Lego. They're incredibly precise manufacturing processes. But I wonder if we'll ever get to that point with model kits, because that bit would be really, really interesting. And that would open up a lot of opportunities to to make model kits that don't really need painting, and you know, there's a lot of people out there that don't like to paint their models, right? And that would help a lot, right? If a model didn't even have the need to have separately colored plastic parts while during assembly. It's all just dual molded. That would be really cool. I feel like there's like engineers at Namco, sorry, at Bandai that are testing out all sorts of different techniques. That would be really fun to. Baking Gunpla is getting there. Yeah, like it's so. I mean, watching you build your kits, it's the engineering is so precise, it's so inventive. All the ways in which they make you connect the parts and everything. It's really cool. Okay, let's leave that for now. A26. A26. Here we are. Bacon, Adam Savage mentioned in his Gunpla video how he doesn't understand how there can be two different colors in one sheet of a runner. Yeah, so the way they do that, doesn't it seem like they've doesn't it seem like it's separate pieces that are then like attached and clipped together? I don't know. I've noticed that too, but how do they connect? The plastic colors don't blend into each other, right? Like on the runner, it's more like they're kind of like two separately pieces that are attached, I think. Yeah, I've noticed that actually. And yeah, Adam Savage has a couple of videos where he has talked about Gundam, or he's built model kits. I've watched a few of them. It's pretty cool because Adam Savage is just in general a cool guy. If I could actually respec my entire life, I would just respec for the Adam Savage build. That would be pretty sweet. Or if I could somehow put points in my XP to presently, so I can kind of make the Adam Savage build for the rest of my life, I'd be pretty happy about that. He's got a cool workshop. He interacts with all sorts of interesting people. He crafts and does all sorts of stuff that I like too. Yeah, he's a cool dude, in my opinion. Bacon, he said it doesn't look like they are attached. So, So yeah, it must be a kind of dual mold or some kind of variation of that. Interesting. Yeah, I wish there was more video footage of the engineers at work at Bandai and how they do stuff. I wish there was like a documentary. Maybe there is actually. I'd love to see that, or how it's made. Have you watched How It's Made? I love How It's Made. Anytime I catch it on TV, I'm like, oh shit, How It's Made? All right, I'm gonna stop everything that I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing now. I'm watching How It's Made. I love that shit. It's also on YouTube as well. Okay, yeah, they should make a How It's Made for Gunpla. But also, I guess that Bandai wouldn't be very inclined to show every single little process and really peek behind the curtains of how they work because it's like an industry secret, right? Like they wouldn't want their competitors, and there's more competitors these days, to suddenly ape their processes and stuff. I mean, we're seeing that with Lego too, right? There's so many companies out there that kind of copy what they do. Even as far as the pieces go, they kind of copy the actual designs of the parts, which I think is so shitty for these companies to do that, but whatever. Okay, how does this go? How does this go? No? Yes? No? Oh, yeah, I think it's this way. It's like an extra canister of ammo. pretty small gun, actually. It's not that big. Those vids are cool, yeah. There is, I mentioned this before, but there is a video from the Gundam Info channel where they show the people at the factory, the Gundam factory, and these are the engineers that are cleaning out the molds and everything. Yeah, I'll try and link it to you a little later today. It's not that it's super informative, but it's actually kind of awesome just seeing these guys work and do their thing. They're so good at it, and it's a cool job, I guess. Safe to say. All right. What do we got next? 14. So this is actually the elite or the captain model now. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be using this guy, but I figure let's take a look. Captain guy, not too special. He's just a dude. He's wearing more armor. And then he's got arms. I don't really need to observe. This is pretty obvious what parts are what, so I don't really need to pay attention to the part numbers. Although, maybe this will bite me in the butt later. Yeah, and Adam Savage went to New Zealand and checked out Weta Digital, and they have you know, they made Lord of the Rings, right? But they have a workshop where they make a lot of practical effects and practical costumes. There's a lot of practical effects and stuff in the Lord of the Rings, right? And yeah, that was a really cool video. Yeah, Adam Savage's channel in general, very neat. A lot of cool things. Okay. Okay. I think this gets cut, the tab here. Oh no, maybe not. If I had a complaint about this kit, maybe some parts could have a better distinction between what's a tab and what's not a tab. Some parts it seems like, ooh, let's cut that off, and then it's like, oh, actually it's not. You're not supposed to cut that off. That's not a tab. I haven't been caught by that, but I feel like it could happen. I feel like it could happen if you weren't paying super attention. This hand is so stupid looking. He's making a fist, but it just makes his hand look tiny, like he has a tiny malformed, a tiny nub of a hand. There you go. Okay, where? Oh, we also need this leg. We have another optional. We have another option here. I can kind of, I know what they want me to do, so I can kind of show it real quick. Ooh, that flew right at me. It's a back-to-back Raptors today. They've got another game to play today. Hopefully they can win. Freddy's an all-star. That's pretty cool. Let's do a loose fitting. So here's this probably needs to be glued, but let's not glue it. Let's just do a loose fitting. So this is a this is a part. This is a configuration for the captain where he doesn't have the rest of his legs. Why is that? Because he can go in here like this, right? So he's kind of half exposed, just looking over. Which is pretty neat, but I don't think I like that. And again, this is something where I might need to think about this more in terms of what I want to do for the diorama. If I'm going to put this in a little setting, I'd have to think about this more, because maybe this would look good for a diorama, but as a model that you want to kind of play around with, I don't really like that all that much, that way, that setup. But you can take him off of this, his lower half, and put him like this. Somehow, just gonna kind of do a loose fitting, just like that, and have him sit in the seat, just like this. And you can have him kind of like half emerging out from the back here, because this back portion comes out. I kind of don't want to take it apart right now, but this isn't glued. You're not supposed to glue this, and that's for this purpose. So you can have like the seat kind of half emerging out. But I also don't like that. I don't think that looks super interesting for a model. I don't think that looks all that interesting. So, but again, I don't want to glue anything right now, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. Those are the options, and actually they show you right here. Bacon, it's Hawks tonight. Okay. What do you think our chances are? Do you think we're gonna fare well against them? So yeah, this is what I was talking about. You remove this back portion and just shove them in there like that. But I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if you can read this here or here. Not really sure what it says. I don't think it's that important. Probably they're saying not to glue this. I don't know, because you're not really supposed to glue if you want to have that gun available to you. Okay, so let's see. The gun goes right here. Just like that. Or no, facing the other way. It can also go on the other side. Oh, no, it can't actually. Only there. And we have a hand option. Both teams on the second game of a back-to-back tonight, so there's a good chance. Both teams? Oh, boy. Yeah, so far we've been pretty good with the back-to-backs, but man, these Raptors are pretty tired, I gather by now. At some point, they're going to have to let the bench do some of the lifting, but the starters are playing some heavy minutes these days. You know, this might be the last part I need to cut from the model. Bacon, but our lack of depth might put us at a disadvantage. Yeah, I was just saying that. I like some of our bench guys. Maybe I'm just like being a homer. I like some of them, but yeah, don't think we have the depth. Pretty cool that Precious Achiuwa is also going to be at the All-Star game. I think he's good, but like he's really explosive, I find. But sometimes I get frustrated watching him. But I guess that applies to like the whole bench. Yeah, so this hand here can swap out this one. Weirdly, it's a different color. I don't know why they did that. Do I have alternate hand colors which are dark? And this should hold the gun now. Yeah, it holds the gun. Okay, let's do a little cleanup here. There's some parts that have fallen off. I need to glue them. But let's just take a look at this model. Some of the joints are kind of stiff, but I'm guessing that that'll kind of loosen up over time. And yeah, there is a decent, there is some range of movement here, but it seems to me that might be better off just gluing it if you like a certain pose. Trying to get this guy's hand to be holding it kind of. And I feel like I want to be kind of delicate with this. That's the feeling, just because I don't want... Nothing is glued at the moment. Well, nothing else other than what they told me to glue. But this is the general construction of it. This is pretty much it. Aside from some parts that I have to glue. Pretty cool. This is a more hunkered down pose. But our lack of depth, a bit of a long-term project. Precious? You know, I didn't fully understand the way the frame, like the original skeleton, would connect with this unit here, the bulky unit, where the pilot goes, and it's pretty cool how you can actually see how the human would fit, and the humans are big, right? Because the scale of this model is different than something like a Gundam, but you can see, if I move the hands a bit, that this portion here, and then this is where the head is, and yeah, the legs are just through there, and there's this gap here, right? 2 legs and the head, that's where the pilot goes. Very snug in there. It would be very tight feeling. So let's try and get this guy into like a more neutral pose so I can kind of look at it. Let's see. I like the shoulders. And there's the flap. The legs are a little split. You can kind of bring them in a bit. Can't do the Van Damme, or can I? Oh? Oh? Oh-ho! So it does clear the Van Damme challenge. That's everything, every Gunpla, every Plamo model, big robot needs to, you always have to test to see if it can clear the Van Damme challenge, and this guy can do it. So that's +1. That's a +1 rank to this one. You know, it went from being... Well, I don't know what grade I'd give this model just yet. I need to kind of mess around with it more, but whatever grade I'm going to give it, it gets at least +1 because it's because you can do the Van Damme. I'm just gonna go down a bit. In the hand. Let's just leave him like this for now. And I gotta... There's a flap here, which I have somewhere. Don't think I threw it out. There's a flap there. And there's also flaps on the back, I think, that we need to place. Yeah, there's some back flaps. And there's another little bag. A bag of... like a thing that goes up front here. Holy crap. Oh yeah, there's the old shoes. There's parts for the old feet. I will look for the other bag later. Goro looking good, bro? Bruh? Bacon, yes, precious Achiwa. Maybe calling him a long-term project is a bit harsh. He's not 5 years away from being 5 years away, at least. Trade deadline is also coming up soon. What will be the fate of Simmons? Yeah, so I've been following the news for that, and it does seem like Philly is more than willing to just hunker down and even wait until the summer, and because they're doing well, right? They're doing like pretty damn well in this regular season. Embiid is at the top of his game. So they could do that. Would say a lot for Philly if they can achieve what they have, and they can really fulfill their destiny. Minus Ben Simmons, that would say a lot about the team and Embiid. Goro went pork chasing. There's no pork rinds in Oakville or Burlington. That is unbelievable. How can there be no pork rinds? Pork rinds are going up for up to $60. Got some cheaper but still brand ones. Maybe it's time to consider making your own pork rinds. Goro, I like this model. Yeah. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty plucky little guy. I'm just kind of looking it over right now. We're pretty much done at this point. We're just kind of assessing the model so far, and there's a lot that I need to kind of take a second look at as far as what I'm gonna glue and stuff, but yeah, we can at least take a look. One thing that I've noticed about this model is that it has these wheels. I've talked about this before. This back wheel even spins. And then there's another wheel here and another wheel here. And I'm guessing that in the anime, this thing can have some kind of alternate mode where it can just coast along on its wheels. But I haven't seen the anime. I don't even really intend to watch the anime right now, because I don't really want to build this model with the anime in mind. I kind of just want to build it freely. But I think it would have been neat if we could have seen how this would work with its wheels. However, this is intended to work. Another thing that's kind of interesting about this model kit, and as well as the entire range of these obsolete Moderoid kits from Good Smile Company, is how the very frame, the light gray here, is considered a generic frame that applies to all the other models from this range. If you look online and check out more of these models, they'll all have this frame and that that frame in common. And yeah, that's kind of neat because, again, it kind of sells you on this idea of a mass-produced machine. But yeah, it means that I'm not all that interested in getting more of these models, just because, like 60-70% of the build is going to be all the same, right? So yeah, I'm not too interested in getting more. Although I did enjoy this build. As far as like something that I bought to kind of come back to building plastic model kits, this was pretty good. Pretty good. Another thing I'd like to mention, and this is kind of a point of criticism, and it's related to what I had said earlier about being a mass-produced model, like within the fiction of the world, right? Is that some of the elements of this model feel imbalanced. Like it feels very top heavy, right? And this dark gray portion, this is all unique to this model, right? To this version of the frame. However, the lower portion of the model seems kind of spindly and thin, like it doesn't have that bulk, the same kind of bulk that the top has. It feels very thin, and that's a design choice. But if it was up to me, I would try and bulk out the legs a little more to kind of feel a bit more chunky as this top does. All right, let's catch up with the. Okay, Goro linked to some pork rinds. $60 a bag. God. Goro, it's very industrial looking, very real. And Night Trap, don't post long URLs. It looks like it was made by junkers in some far-flung dystopian future. Sorry, I didn't know it would be that long. Yeah, $60 a bag. I don't know. I wouldn't bite for that. At that point, I would consider making my own pork rinds in some way. I feel like pork skin. How expensive is that these days? You should look into. Oh, this is kind of funny that this back wheel thing kind of can move. That's odd. What else can I say about this? It has this opening part, and you can put the models in. Right there. You can put the pilot kind of peeking out. Like this. Whoop. No, not like that. Like this. It's kind of nice that they gave you some of those options to do that. Like this. Have the pilot sticking out. Although I probably won't go for this, like in a permanent way. It's nice that they gave you options, even as far as the pilot too. I like that a lot. And actually, I can speak a little bit about the scale of this model. It's 1/35 scale. Yes, it says right here. 1/35 scale. Goro, am I going to weather and paint it? Yes, I am. I am indeed. But at this point, I need to, now that I've more or less completed building this model, I need to think about the diorama and how I'm going to set that up and how I'm going to paint this model. So yeah, that could probably be a stream in itself where I think about that sort of thing. But yeah, I'll have to consider that. Oh yeah, I was saying how this model is 1/35 scale. That, I was looking into that, right? Like, I was like, what other things are 1/35 scale? And it turns out there's a lot of, Tamiya makes a lot of, like, World War II soldier models, World War, military vehicles, civilians, all sorts of things, scaled at 1/35. So what that means is, if I want to buy stuff that will kind of complement the diorama, there's a lot out there that I could do, that I could buy, like things like rubble or bicycles or cars even, or whatever, trees. There's a lot of stuff that I could buy, even more human figures to kind of go around it and make a scene, because they're all the appropriate scale, 1/35 scale. So long as the models are according to that, they should look good with the rest of this. So that's actually a pretty neat thing to think about as a possibility. The other thing I want to mention is how I'm going to not just paint this model, but any kind of alterations that I'm going to make. Because, as I said, I have some criticisms of the design with the legs and stuff like that, not feeling very bulky. This guy skipped leg day. So I need to think about other pieces, other parts that I can use, possibly within this kit itself. Possibly I'll need to rummage through my extra parts from other models, or I could go so far as to find find some plastic card and make the parts that I need. How am I going to go about customizing this just to get it to a point where I'm a little happier, more happy with the legs and stuff? And if you even take a look, right, there's some extra pieces that this kit came with. This is an alternate canopy, if you will, front part for the generic build of the model. And maybe if I split this in two, like cut it down in half and put like a portion here, like half of it on this leg and then another half of it on this leg, that would kind of help bulk it out a bit, right? Or maybe oriented this way, right? Something like that. Anything I can do to kind of help it get a little chunkier. Even in the arms, there could be something done to the arms. And you can use parts, existing parts of the model that you don't intend to use. This is another part of the model I might not use. It's supposed to kind of go in the back. And yeah, maybe I can kind of cut this up, file it down, sand it down, think of something to kind of add more to it. That is the extent of the extra parts. Oh, there's some more here. Another shoulder part. Yeah, just try and think of what I can do with the existing stuff that I have. Here's another foot. Here's the foot part, right? There's this option to use this foot or the captain feet. And maybe I can put this somewhere. Cut it up and put it somewhere to kind of add more to it. Give it a bit more bulk, as I was saying. So let's line this stuff up here. Some extra parts. Gotta think like Ray Studio. Yeah, I gotta build this whole thing and then look at it and then cut it apart completely. Draw it. That was something else. That was something else. Let's take a quick look at the frame, actually. Is there any extra parts on the frame? Doesn't seem like it. Even something like this, right? This right here is a flat piece of plastic, right? And I could cut this up and use it in some way, right? If I cut it and file it and put it in different places and kind of shape it more, right? We could probably use this. You could even heat it up, if you put it in boiling water, you might get it to a point where it can bend and you can kind of form it a bit. I've done that with some plastic models. Let's see, any extra parts on this? No, there's no extra parts on that one. I think we've removed everything from the sprue. Oh yeah, looks like there's some more of these hinging articulated parts, but that's it for this one. This part here, Bacon, turn them into shark fins, give them more guns, and make more guns. Yeah, actually, I was thinking, I don't like that I only have one gun. I kind of want more guns, and I want a close combat weapon too. Maybe a knife, like a big knife. I might look at Titanfall as an example, because the design of this is somewhat reminiscent of Titanfall. And I think there's close combat weapons in Titanfall. So yeah, I'll take a look and see if I can find something I can base off of a weapon from, and I'll also have to look through my parts that I have here and see if I have something that I can make a knife or more guns out of, or maybe I can buy an extra pack of weapons somewhere, because I noticed that the hobby shop we went to last week had some extra plastic parts for guns. Let's take a quick look at this. This is actually the decals. A big chainsaw Goro? Actually, it's not a half bad idea. That's a very kind of Warhammer feeling option too, like a chainsword. I could go for that. This is, yeah, I think this is the decals, the decals. I don't know how to pronounce it. I always say decals. But yeah, it looks like there's just some numbers and something that says Cerebus. Cerebus is the PMC, the private military corporation that this build belongs to, I think. Just some generic numbers. So nothing too fancy with this. I'll probably use those, maybe. I'm not sure, actually. Because like I said, I don't really care about the fiction and the setting of the world for this kit. I'd rather just paint it and build whatever I want. And whatever, you know, just have total gunpla freedom, I guess. Let's take a look at the box one last time and see if we can't get some ideas just from this. So again, you can even see here that the legs, it just doesn't have that presence, right? It just doesn't look all that chunky. And the hands are very dainty. The feet are very dainty too. But these plates, these flap plates, kind of help to disguise the thinness of the legs. And yeah, I'm just trying to look and think about other ways I can do that too. Let's flip it over. Yeah. And so this is part of the model. There's this gap here. And if you were to look at other model kits from this range, there would likely be another piece of plate armor that goes here for that particular model. And from behind it kind of has a more spindly look too. But yeah, this pose, the color scheme, this is all bare plastic mostly, I think, except for the shoulder and these bags. Those are painted, and yeah, I'm planning on painting the whole thing and changing up the color scheme to some extent. But that's something that what I might do is take this into Photoshop, like scan this picture, take it into Photoshop, and then mess around in Photoshop some color schemes. That's pretty easy to do if you know what you're doing. Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for me, guys. We managed to finish this build, at least initially this build, and we'll have to make some alterations and changes, but at least the general idea of it is done now, which is pretty cool. So we've got a long road ahead of us. There's more to do for this, but I'm hoping that we can get this all done in the month of February. This is kind of like my big February project, at least for the hobby. And there's some other things I'd like to do, but this is the main one. And earlier today we also worked on this, the Eldar Guardians. Sorry, not the Guardians, my dudes mining the grav cannon, or rather the anti-grav platform. Worked on that. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. Looking forward to it. Thanks. Alright, guys, that's gonna do it for me. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. GG.